What's up, V2 crew? This is Unknown here, and this is going to be a video saying what my thoughts on Axiom Verge were after 100%ing it, and also how I found the 100%. So if you're interested in knowing what that entails and how I found it, stick around for this video. So first off, a little bit of a review-ish summary thing. I thought the music in this game, top notch. It was amazing. Really loved the soundtracks in this game. Also, another big part of Metroidvanias is what upgrades you get. And I thought there was really cool upgrades, really cool weapons, a lot of stuff I did not expect. It was great. I was glad I played it without spoilers, because things surprised me, and I really liked that. I did have one gripe with the game. One main gripe was that the menu controls were a little weird to me, how they decided to set them up. Because cancel and select were kind of reverse how I wanted them, but I could not remap the select button because then it would change the jump button, but I could remap everything else. It was a interesting design choice, I guess I should say. Bosses and enemies, I thought they were creative. I thought they had good movesets. They were diverse. For the most part, you did have somewhat later in the game where you would get the same enemies, just color shaded a bit different, but for the most part, pretty different. And then another unique thing about this was you got, minor spoiler here, but you get the ability to glitch things with like disruptors, and you can glitch the enemies and they will basically help you like perform things like break certain blocks and stuff. And this is kind of hidden in the game, but you do need to do that to get certain collectibles and upgrades. It is kind of needed to know if you want 100% it, and I think that was just a unique concept. Difficulty to finish the story, I thought it had some few challenging moments, but for the most part, it was not that bad. And then once you get all the upgrades and things, you can kind of just breeze through basically everything, including the final boss. So how hard was it to 100%? Difficulty in finding collectibles, let's talk about that for a second here. There's all the notes you gotta get, the power-ups, the upgrades. I'll go through the upgrades later on, because again, spoilers. They were very well hidden. Some of them you needed to check blocks, some of them you had to run or use certain abilities on just unnoticeable things, and some things were like really cryptic too, like very obtuse puzzles, including having to decode letters in order to, well, if you get to that secret, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it did make solving them and figuring out very rewarding. However, I did have to consult a guide for the cleanup. I could not do it myself. It would have taken me, I don't know if I ever would have figured it out. Just how obtuse some of these puzzles were. And then another thing that to 100% the game, on the menu on your profile, there's 100% for the map and 100% for the items. And that's typically like in Metroidvanias, what I would consider 100%, I guess I should say. But in this game, there's secret worlds. Each of them have a health upgrade and then some other upgrade, and one of them has a secret weapon in it. So in order for to 100% it, at least in my book, you have to get all those worlds, get that final health upgrade, and get that secret weapon. This was kind of the tedious part that I didn't really enjoy about the 100%, is that even using a guide for this, the guide would have all the spots marked off, and that was great. However, I would have to continually go back to areas, because what they would do is they would spawn randomly. You get 5 spawns out of 50 or 100. Like, there was a lot of locations that could have spawned, and they're set when you start your save file. So you just have to keep going on these, dashing through the walls, trying to drill, and for a couple of them, I missed, and I had to go back because I thought that it was a no-go for that spot, but in the end, it really was. But it did make it very rewarding when you finally got into one of them, I will say that. Also, too, if you don't know about them, you might just finish the game and call it quits there, because the only thing that really hints at them is one of the notes that you find, and then even that, reading that, you just might be like, okay, whatever, that's just some weird story related thing here. And the screen and your health bar kind of do get a little glitchy slash scanliney if you are close, but it is so unnoticeable that unless you realize that that was what was happening and you were staring at it, it was very hard to tell. But for puzzles, like story wise, I thought those were pretty good. Some of them required a little bit of thought, but not too much. I do wish, though, there was some sort of warp system, like warp system between the save points, because that would have helped a lot, because I had to backtrack a lot because I did get stuck story progression wise, and then cleaning up the collectibles, it would have helped as well. So how fun was this to 100%? I did enjoy it. I would have liked not having to look up the guide so much in the end, and I didn't really care for like the secret world hunt all that much. But for the most part, I really enjoyed my time with the game. And how tedious was it to 100%? It was pretty tedious, like I said. And if you weren't using a guide, it would be super tedious. And even with a guide, a lot of tediousness. And then the 100%, I know my save file has a higher time, but I was leaving the game on, so don't count that. It took probably about 20 hours for me, and for the most part, I was not using a guide to progress through story and things, but I did use it heavily for the cleanup. This will be the part where I cut and show you the 100% save file, so if you don't want spoilers, leave now. Warning, warning, spoilers ahead. Alright, so this is the part of the video where I'm going to go through, show you all the 100% screens. Now, like I said, this game probably took me more like 20 hours to 100%, and I did play on normal. There is a hard difficulty option, but I did also leave my, my system running, so that's why the additional 10 hours there. So it does say map item 100%. Let's go in here. Like I said earlier, though, there are those secret worlds that are not tracked. My health bar at the moment is with all 5 of the nodes that you find in the secret worlds. So here we have all the maps, and if you look in the upper right, that yellow dot means that you have all the items. The purple dot means you have all of the map 100% completed. So that was nice in kind of helping you know what you're missing in each of the individual areas. And yeah, without that, oh man, this would have been a real beast to 100%, guides included. So that shows you the maps right there. There were a few sections of the map that were very hard to reach. I had to throw the drone up and then like dash after I threw the drone up. Here are all the weapons I got. This was the bonus weapon, I guess, the secret weapon in the secret worlds. Like I said earlier, you can get one of 3 of these, and this is the one that I got. And I actually found, like, it's decent. It homes in on your enemies, but I kind of found the flamethrower just to be better in general. The flamethrower was pretty much the best weapon. So here are all the items, and all the power-ups. Like I said, that got me the health bar size that I currently have. Here's all of the notes. And then one of these was, you had to decrypt and decrypt. Oh, and there were passwords. I forgot to talk about the passwords. So you had to do certain things to find passcodes for some of these puzzles. Again, very cryptic, very obtuse things that you had to find, figure out how to get these. And some of them weren't even, like, just in the notes themselves. Some of them were on the actual, screen and things, enemy-wise. So yeah, there's that. I guess I'll show you, yeah, this is that homing weapon here. But Yeah, I thought this was a great game. Um, it's not that expensive, and it take you a while, especially if you try to do it without a guide. So, with that being said, uh, let me know in the comments if you have played this game, if you're looking to pick it up, if my 100% scared you away, if it seems like something you would want to go in 100%, and maybe, yeah. So everybody, as always, have a good night, good morning, enjoy your games, thanks for watching, spread the positivity, you do you, and be your V2.